So Mary was a young girl from the wrong side of the tracks, a town that had apparently a bad reputation. I mean, if we had to pick and choose, we'd say, no way would we choose somebody from a town with such a bad reputation. I mean, after all, there's no telling what this girl grew up seeing and hearing, or even doing while she was living in this particular town. Apparently, God didn't take this into consideration either in his choosing Mary to be the mother of his son. So Mary was young, she was poor, and from the wrong part of town. In her case, she was just from the wrong town, period. They were all characteristics that would seem to make her unusable by God. But God chose Mary for one of the most important jobs he's ever asked anyone to do. I thought about that as I was preparing. The most important job he ever asked a human being to do was the one that he asked me. You bring my son into a sinful world. Through God's choice of Mary, he teaches us that no matter who you are, the Lord can use you. We may think this morning that we're too young. You may think that you don't have enough money or that you don't have enough talent for God to use you. You may think that your background or your past mistakes might make it impossible for God to use you. Do not limit God because he can use you if you will trust him. Stop and think about it. Of all the queens, of all the princesses, of all the daughters of wealthy and influential people, God chose a poor teenager from a town with a bad reputation to bring his son into this world. But Mary did have at least two vital characteristics. Two that God looks for. Humility and faith. Humility and faith. You see, she knew that she wasn't worthy of the honor that God had offered to her. Yet she still believed that God could use her if she trusted him. So the question for us this morning is, do you believe that God can use you? And I just know, because I know that some of you are sitting there this morning, no, he can't use me because of. And you've got all this long list. And again, as we studied in our Sunday school class, you can call yourself a Moses. Do you believe that God can use you, or do you think that you're too small, that you're too young, that you're too poor, you're too weak to be used by him? Let me put it in simpler terms for you that each one of us in here can understand and relate to. If you think that you are too small to make a difference or to be effective, you've never been in bed with a mosquito. Now, is there anybody that cannot relate to that? That's what I thought. So you cannot be too small to be effective. Do you think that you are useless to God? You see, God is looking for people that are humble and willing to be used in his amazing plan. So he teaches us that no matter who you are, Mary teaches that no matter who you are, God can use you. He has an amazing plan. Stop and think about it. Now, we think his plan is, we know it because we've read the story, but suppose you hadn't read the story or knew the story and you're reading it for the very first time. God is in this wonderful place where everything is right and perfect. No problems, no evil, no sin. Everything is wonderful. And he says, I'm going to take my son and send him to a dark, evil, sinful, ungrateful place. To where anything and everything can and does happen. and I'm going to send him to earth by picking this poor, young girl from a place that nobody wants to be from. That's who I'm going to choose and how I'm going to send my son into this world. So that I can save a wretched, sinful people who have no business or does not deserve to be saved, so I can bring them here to this perfect place with me. That's a crazy plan. It's a crazy plan when you think about it from the human perspective. And he's chosen this girl for the most important job in his amazing plan. So she teaches us that no matter who you are, God can use you. She also teaches us that no matter what problems you face, that the Lord will be with you. Verses 28 through 33. There are some things in life that most people, anyway, there's always exceptions to the rule, but there are some things that you just do not want to go through alone. I think Christmas is one of those times that you don't want to be alone. I'm not sure, let me back up. I'm sure there's some that would like to spend it all by themselves. I heard one time, in fact, we were on a cruise, and we heard the cruise director say, never take a cruise during Christmas. Because the only people on a cruise are old and grumpy, not fit to be in society. They don't want to be with families that won't be allowed to never take a cruise. We don't like to go through trouble alone. If you're sick, now I don't mean that you've got a cold, because if I had a cold or if just leave me alone. Just don't override me. Just leave me alone. I'll deal with it. But if you're sick, you want somebody to be there with you, to give you comfort and to help you. If you lose your job, or if you lose your spouse, or if you lose your child, you need somebody there with you to help you make it through. And of course, the one person that we need more than anybody else facing problems is the Lord. But Mary teaches us that no matter what your problems are, no matter what you face, the Lord is with you. Angel tells her in verse 30 there, do not be afraid. Who could blame Mary if she was scared? We would have all been afraid if it had been us that God had chosen. I mean, imagine the fear that she might experience as a result of her pregnancy. First of all, she feared the possible divorce by Joseph. I mean, Joseph, like any normal human being would first assume that Mary's been unfaithful to him. Imagine your fiance come in to you and say, oh, by the way, I'm pregnant. Excuse me? So he assumes that she's been unfaithful to him. So what else would he just have thought? Well, I've got to divorce her. And back in that time, you had to divorce her according to the law to end the engagement. He thought all these probably before he had this dream and about what was going to happen. But right now, Mary doesn't know how all of this is going to work out. She doesn't know it is God that will be with her. Whatever Joseph does, stays or leaves. She faces possible rejection by her family. I mean, did Mary's family believe her when she came in and told them the story? Would you have believed it if your daughter had come and told you that, hey, I'm expecting a child, but I haven't been with a man? We're never told anything about Mary's parents' reaction to her news here. But it's very possible and very probable that they did not believe her story. But Mary believes that God is with her, no matter how her parents would react. She faced not possible rejection, but almost certain rejection from the community. Can you imagine the gossip that's going around this little town of Nazareth? Let me share a personal story with you. I